Joining us now is David Weinstein, a former Assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida. David, good to have you back with us. A lot to go through. We have the copy here. It's voluminous.
Sure
the Attorney General says there was no collusion, but does that also mean there was no evidence of any kind of conspiracy?
No. There is plenty of evidence of a conspiracy contained in those pages. It's a conspiracy that involved operatives outside the United States and people here in the United States. What there is a lack of evidence of is the criminal intent of people connected to the campaign to participate in that conspiracy. So there is a conspiracy and plenty of it.
What about on the side of obstruction of justice? Help me understand why, if the president asks his legal counsel, I want Robert Mueller, the man who is investigating me, I want him fired. And his legal counsel says, no, that's not a good idea. Why is that not obstruction of justice, or at least conspiracy to obstruct justice on the part of the president of the United States?
He has an intent that he wants this person fired, and for a reason because he believes it's interfering with, or would then allow him to interfere with that. His legal counsel doesn't take it a step further. He doesn't pass that information out to anybody else. Just talking about something between a couple of people, unless you go forward with that criminal intent, there's no conspiracy that's going to be proven in a court of law.
So now basically it's in the hands of Congress, and we know they're all eager to get their hands on it, read through it, and hold hearings. What do you expect is going to happen from here?
We've already heard that the Attorney General and Mr. Mueller are going to come and testify in front of Congress. They'll provide information. They're going to ask them some questions. They've been given a roadmap of how they can proceed if they believe that there's evidence of a high crime or misdemeanor here. There's a lot of misconduct in there. As you pointed out, Elliot, just having a conversation with somebody about going to do something and that person doesn't do it, that stops it from being criminal activity. The fact that you're even thinking about that may be something that Congress wants to examine. They want to see how far that was going to go. And if they think that rises to the level of a high crime or misdemeanor, then they're going to investigate it.
Do you think that Mueller should have tried harder to actually question the president in person? Because I was looking at his responses. Almost every response starts with, I have no recollection. Very lawyerly.
Yes, because he was advised by his lawyers, two of whom are here from South Florida, the Raskins, and they gave him advice. If you don't remember exactly what was said, say you don't recall. But getting back to your question, there's nothing that requires a target or a subject of an investigation to sit down with the prosecutor and answer the questions. Quite frankly, that's not